Jermell Charlo said, we don't even care about Demetrius Andrade. We offered him a fight. Didn't happen. We moving on. I'm going to talk about that in this video. So you got to stay tuned and sing along. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to my channel. Follow me at Boxingego on Twitter. And I posted this quote from the Last Stand podcast, where this is what Jermell Charlo had to say. He said, you got Demetrius Andrade. He don't know what he wants to do with his life. We can't even count on Andrade to accept the fight, so we don't even care about him. So he's saying, like, Andrade is basically yesterday's news, and we can't count on him. And he had a fight with him. And the funny thing is this. Listen, I like both fighters, but I got to keep it all the way funky. This is exactly, I did a video yesterday. This is exactly what Steven Espinoza of Showtime had to say. A concerned fan said, why didn't y'all offer Boo Boo the fight? He was the champion in the same division. Steven Espinoza, head of Showtime, said we did, and he turned it down. So this is mirroring the comments yesterday. Showtime head was mirroring the comments that you hear from Jermell Charlo. He's saying, hey, you know, we can't rely on Andrade to accept the fight. Now, my thing is this. Demetrius Andrade may go down as one of the kind of saddest boxing stories of a guy with sheer talent, ability, that made all the wrong decisions or didn't have the right team around him or whatever you want to attribute this to, that led to his career being what his career is. And I really firmly believe that. I think Andrade is supremely talented. I've watched him spar live, things of this nature. And he's a talented southpaw individual, but the path he's on is just like, you don't really see him getting any of the big fights. And there's a lot of people who keep pushing this narrative that Andrade needs to fight Charlo and things like that. But according to Showtime, they're saying we've been down this road, and one of them is for certain, where he could have fought Jermell Charlo, but him and his dad pulled out saying that they wanted more money and they didn't agree to the terms, and the fight went left. And that's a reality. And the biggest thing I'm gonna keep double downing on this point is you have Demetrius Andrade, who is with a British promoter, Eddie Hearn, and collectively they've gotten nothing accomplished to further Andrade's career. Why is this important? Because Eddie Hearn came in the game pompous and said he was going to and ready to take over America. He said that he was going to provide destruction to all the American promoters, yada, yada, yada. He said DAZN is the Netflix of boxing, all this stuff, right? I told you it was cap. The business model didn't make sense. I've already won that battle, because you see they're doing pay-per-view, because I told you what they were doing previously was not sustainable. But the problem with the situation where Andrade is, DAZN and Eddie Hearn came in pompous and they said we're taking over the game and taking over the globe, but they told people like Jermell Charlo, if you want the big fights, you must sign to DAZN. You must. We got all the middleweights. We got all the guys at 160 and 168. So if you want a big fight, you want to make your way and make a name for yourself, then you have to come see us. But we know that was cap, because Andrade is over there with all these guys, yet he's got none of these fights. None. Zero. Billy Joe Saunders, as you see on the screen, he was supposed to fight him. He failed. Billy Joe Saunders failed a test, and they never rescheduled it. And keep in mind, when the fight was initially slated to happen, Billy Joe Saunders was with Frank Warren, not Eddie Hearn. So you got to ask some real questions outside of Eddie Hearn talking. What big fights has he really facilitated since Joshua Klitschko? He talks about Andrade getting a big fight and fighting Triple G, Canelo, or Charlo. None of the fights have happened. That's an absolute reality. Instead, this is who they got him fight. This Dale Earnhardt looking dude. You know what I mean? It's just like, this is crazy. It's crazy. And, you know, at some point you have to start looking towards the fighter, their team. Like, especially, this is off record, or off subject, but Kanye West, he's a prime example. If you watch his documentary on Netflix, very good stuff, very inspirational. Like, bro, look at, who is this dude? Candyman? Who is this? Tony Todd? Like, bro, this is what Eddie Hearn is getting Andrade, and it's just sad. It's sad. But anyway, watch the Kanye West documentary. The bottom line, the point I'm making is Kanye West, he was the one that made himself hot. Rockefeller signed him, but they looked at him as a beat dude, and that's all they were considered. He's like, nah, I make beats, but I really can rap. I got a message. And everybody was fronting on him, but Kanye was, you know, he had some connects that he was establishing, like Talib Kweli and Mos Def and Pharrell, and he was working the angles and getting these things, building his album, and he made Rockefeller see the vision that they previously weren't even really looking for. So these fighters got to stop waiting for networks and promoters who clearly aren't doing it for them to make themselves hot. So after so long, like an Andrade, you start to wonder, are you doing what you need to be doing to create the branding that you need? You know what I mean? The branding you need to get to the next level. Or you just like content Eddie Hearn's feeding you these foreign fighters, Jason Quigley's and Lucas Keelers and all this guys like that, and you're just content making a couple mil off that and just, you know, succumbing to, hey, this is what it is, and this is how my career is going to be. Because that, to me, if I was a fighter, that wouldn't be acceptable for me. Like, I know what I want in this world, and I'll be damned if something gets in the way of that. You see what I'm saying? And it's just making me wonder what the game plan is for Andrade. Listen to what I'm saying. I know some people are like, what are you talking? It makes perfect sense. For example, Steven Espinoza, what brought this whole conversation up is he was posting basically confirming that Munguia is considering an offer to fight a PBC fighter, JERMELL Charlo. WBO orders this, blah, blah, blah. Munguia considering a Showtime offer to fight. So let's put this together. How in the right? How in the would Jaime Munguia, a DAZN fighter, a guy who fights on DAZN, if he fights JERMELL Charlo, and he's been on the same side, and he was a mandatory for Charlo and a mandatory for Andrade, that's going to be crazy if Munguia fights Charlo off network, and then a guy like Andrade, who's been on DAZN, can't get Triple G. They've worked with Canelo for 7-8 fights. Can't get Canelo. He can't get Danny Jacobs. They're friends, so I don't think they would fight. But none of the name, Caleb Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, none of these guys, Chris Eubank, like nobody, he can't get none of them. None of them. Man, stop. So DAZN clearly has looked at this black fighter, and they haven't put no like emphasis on him. They haven't made Andrade a priority, and it's sad because he got talent, and it's just wasting away fighting Artur Akov. And I remember that fight specifically. He fought Artur Akov, who had already lost to Billy Joe Saunders, the week of Broner versus Pacquiao. The reason I know this is because I went to Broner versus Pacquiao. No matter how much I like Andrade, I can't justify leaving California, flying to New York to cover Andrade Artur Akov, especially when there's a fight on my own coast, on the west side, on the west coast, and it's Pacquiao Broner. It's just, you got to go where the money's at. This is my business. So Eddie Hearn, he's literally done very little to put Andrade in a prime position. Now they talking about he got to fight in the UK, take a away game to fight Zach Parker off network with Frank Warren fighters, and then people are blaming PBC and Showtime. I don't get it. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Subscribe if you like it. And I'm up. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster.